You are about to hear game analysis for one or several matches in 2026 FIFA World Cup. Guys, today we're gonna review the first day of the third round in groups. And it was a day of big mistakes. Big mistakes. Many teams made very big mistakes. And this is what led to some of the results. Some mistakes did not alter the outcome, but some did. And let's first talk about Switzerland with Canada, with Canadian goalkeeper making a mistake, which maybe in the end was the difference between, loss and a draw. Now, you see that sometimes Canada was sharper, but generally speaking, in this game, Switzerland uh, had a great approach to this game. They just stifled Canada completely from what Canada usually uses, this quickness and sharp, how to say this, sudden counterattacks. And Switzerland just removed any opportunity from Canada to do that. And Switzerland, in the end, was a better team and well-deserved win. So this is not the Switzerland I was imagining in my head still, but it is already a little bit better. And with this said, uh, nothing unexpected. We can look at the group standings right now. So Switzerland and Canada finished on top, guaranteed qualifier. Bosnia will most likely qualify as well. So everything as expected. No surprises. Let's move to game. Actually, yeah, I have not watched Bosnia game, so I will not review it. Let's move to the next one. Morocco, Haiti. In the first half, it was 2-2, and it seems like Morocco was kind of like lacking something. But when they came out into the second half, uh, Morocco started just the way I would expect them to start this game. And once Morocco started to play like Morocco plays, uh, and suddenly we started to see the difference between these two teams. Because initially it looked like, wait a minute, Morocco played pretty well with Brazil, right? And they could not do much against each other. But suddenly Brazil beats Haiti 4-0, and Morocco cannot do anything with Brazil. I mean, I'm sorry, with Haiti, yes, if Morocco plays a little bit slow, they cannot do much. But if you look at Moroccan team, I think these guys know that they are good. They are confident. They they know that 2-2 is not something that really reflects their abilities. I think they looking for a deep run into playoffs this year. And they came out in the second half as a mean and lean team, and they thoroughly defeated Haiti in the second half. Again, speaking of mistakes, Morocco goalkeeper made a mistake. He jumped for the ball, which he could not reach, and Haiti scored one of the wonderful goals. Very good. And let's move on to Brazil. As I guess told you before, uh, whatever, if you're a Scottish fan or whatever, it's very good. But I did not see Scotland as any kind of contender for anything here. And look what kind of mess these guys created. Goalkeeper made mistake on the second goal, right? He jumped for the ball which he could not reach, and Vinicius scored with his header, and also defender mistakes. And after on defender had a huge mistake on the first goal. After defender had this huge mistake on the first goal, there was a second goal, which then was disallowed with Vinicius sticking his foot, basically tripping a defender. But it was nearly second goal from another big mistake, right? And then there was goalkeeper mistake for the second goal. Guys, Brazil did not play super, but maybe again they played Scotland, so they looked better. Yes, they played Scotland, and that's why they looked better. I still convinced that this is not the same Brazil. Uh, and game with Morocco showed their limitations. Teams, good teams, getting better as they go deeper into tournament. We will see how it will go, but I predicted that, at least I predicted that Scotland will not do much in this World Cup. They still maybe have some chance, because what if they qualify from the third place, right? Right here in this group, right here. Sorry. And go. So Brazil wins the group because of the goal difference. And that's actually interesting point. I was thinking about this during the game. I was thinking that Morocco came out and they had a goal difference. So Brazil had probably 4 goals difference, right? And Morocco had something plus one or something, right? I forgot. Anyway, so Morocco thought we can, you know, we can if we can win this group, it will be on the goal difference. But probably somebody called them and say like, "Oh, Brazil is winning 3-0. Don't worry about goal difference. Just whatever, win or draw, whatever. We are in the second place anyway." This has happened, guys. This has happens all the time. They make this call and say like, "Okay, forget about. We can't do this," or like, "Oh, they losing or they winning. We need to win too." Something like this. So if Brazil, let's say, was losing, or they had a draw, they were tied with Scotland, Morocco would go forward, win, and win the group, right? But they still came out pretty good in the second half, and they basically won the game, and came out as one of the top teams. Now let's go move to the group A, which I totally don't like this year. And I must say that this is the game in which Mexico basically kind of like rehabilitated itself, at least to a degree. I like their counter-attacking. I like their, quick run and sharper passes, right? The team was looking sharper than before. Well, Czech, or as they rebranded themselves lately, Czechia, used to be Czech Republic. Prior to this, used to be Czechoslovakia, and prior to this was Germany, right? So Mexico initially was kind of like disappointing, right? In offense, a guy has a ball, receives the ball, and he has like wide open net, of course, with goalkeeper in it. And it takes him, I don't know, forever to just take the shot, right? Just take the shot. And instead of taking shot, defender covers him up. So this is kind of like a mistake that you do in offense, because the best thing you can do is to shoot before goalkeeper gets settled, right? Once goalkeeper settled, you're losing. Plus defenders are catching up with you, and you're under pressure, and you're gonna miss or whatever. So when you have such an open shot, Don't try to make your position even better. Just shoot the ball. Just shoot the ball towards the post. Maybe it's hit inside the post. Maybe it hits just outside the post. But at least you'll get something. So here the player did not make a shot at all because and that was great opportunity because he wanted to improve his position. Okay, but what saved Mexico is that mm, Czechs were even worse. Okay, they were much worse. You know what kind mistake they made? So when there was a challenge for the ball, right in the center of the field, like it's almost like right in the center of the field, right on the dot where the center of the field is. Three defenders surrounded one man while other Mexican men were running free. So and this and they could not get the ball. Mexicans get the ball and they run 3-on-1. This is childish. 3-on-1 and they scoring. This is so childish mistake from the Czechs. This is crazy. They are rightfully eliminated from this tournament. I mean, I don't want to even see it. I remember how yes, and they did not produce much. They have not produced much of the not excitement even like any cohesive playing, maximum some crosses. Okay, and uh, on the second goal, they created a total mess in a penalty box. Well, they could just clear the ball. And I remember Czechs when they were losing, let's say 1-0, right, and they still had chance to get back into this game. I remember in one European Championship, Czechs, uh, Czech Republic, right, as they call them. Well, they are Czechs, but the country used to call not Czechia, but Czech Republic. And they were losing. I forgot, maybe Netherlands or some team like this, uh, 2-1 or something. And then their coach, he just sent five different forwards. Like they needed to win this game, right? And he sent five different forwards. And guess what? Czechs won the game, right? With five forwards because they needed forwards to win the game. Now they needed to win the game. They had a chance to go to the next round if they win this game. But I don't know about these coaching decisions. It's just crazy. And generally, this team just did not look ready to play. Period. Like there was not much that we've seen any kind of excitement from this game. So it was almost like a first game where I saw some excitement. This whole Group A, like on the Mexican side. Okay, great. This is the only good news for this group. And let's go to South Africa and South Korea game. Guys, it was again one of the boring games, okay, in this group. Oh, okay. So it wasn't that boring thinking like, okay, these teams are fighting for the spot. And South Korea had a great chance here, but they lost this game. And they lost because, again, it was their decision to play into a draw. And considering that the goal was scored on 63rd minute, they came pretty damn close to it. Because, I don't know, was just their mindset in this game. They wanted to have a draw and a second place in the group. Instead, they are now biting their nails in the third place. And South Africa is not all that good with 32% ball possession here and less ball control as you see per passes, right? Uh, and yet they won. Well, it's normal in soccer when one team dominates the field and another wins. But this is not what I'm talking here about. I'm talking about South Korea with their mindset when they came out in the field. when they allowed the goal, they only towards the end, they little bit started to look like attacking team, but they just could not change their mind. And I thought when water break came in the second half, I thought, all right, this is great for South Korea. Now their coach will do some work. This is where their coach is supposed to do his job to motivate his players and send them forward and send them to play soccer again. But no, they could not just change their way. Maybe the whole squad was tuned for a draw, right? Not to, like a defensive players, right? Defensive players plus defensive mind and everything. And in the end, they could not restructure themselves and go and score a goal. Although they got close one time, right? But it's still not enough to score a goal. And this is just shows that team is lacking basically. All right. But at least we're gonna see South Africa first time in playoff. Okay. How they gonna do? I don't care. I don't think they're gonna do good. But that's what happens. So out of this all games, I would say Switzerland, Morocco, and even Brazil, they were interesting games. Czechia, Mexico, somewhat interesting, and South Africa, South Korea was the most boring out of this all set. Uh, and I haven't watched the Bosnia game, but I will watch it maybe one day or another. But will not report on it. That's okay. Doesn't matter at this point. So there we go. This is the review of matches. It was a day of big mistakes, mistakes that I was only expecting from teams. I don't know. I don't want to be like, sound like crazy, but lesser teams, let's say just lesser teams like Cabo Verde. And actually, Cabo Verde makes less mistakes than these guys. So today we had Canadian mistakes, Scottish mistakes, Moroccan mistakes, Mexican mistakes, although it's an offense, but fine. And Czechs, two mistakes, big mistakes. And Scotland, big mistakes and pathetic ones. So there we go. This is the game analysis. Thank you for watching.